Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna make a basic tutorial about things that I've learned about the PS5 and some quick navigation tips that I've learned about the PS5. I've had my PS5 now since the day it came out, so about 4 months now. I made some notes about what I'm gonna talk about so that way I don't go off topic and I can make this video as informative as possible. And I'm currently recording this video in 720p because there are limitations to how big the size can be on Instagram. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how long my PlayStation 5 takes to boot from being completely turned off, a cold start. It's not in rest mode, it's completely off right now. And keep in mind too, I'm going to show you guys that right now I have a USB 3.0. You can see it right here where my hand is. It's plugged into my PS5 and I'm going to show you guys that it works flawlessly for me. I've been using that USB on this PS5 since the first day it came out to transfer my game recording videos to that USB so I can put them on YouTube and so forth. So right now you can see my TV is in the PlayStation HDMI settings. And right now I'm going to hit the PlayStation logo on my controller and you're going to see exactly how long it takes to boot up. And keep in mind that my PlayStation right now, I have disabled the logon screen so it goes straight to the home screen. So here we go. Okay, your lights, when it goes to the main screen, is going to go from blue to white. Mine is going to turn red because I've changed the light. Please excuse the light coming from the top, but you can see it's already on the home screen, and that was like less than 10 seconds. And I'll show you guys my PlayStation, the lights are red. Yours is going to be white. I've just changed it. So when you first turn on your PlayStation, if you have a brand new PlayStation, the first thing your PlayStation is going to do is it's going to want you to set up the way the picture looks. So it's going to want you to set up the 4K and the HDI, the HDR on your TV. I would suggest leaving it the way that that the PlayStation displays it and just select OK because it's going to do a fantastic job. And by default, the PlayStation 5 is going to detect your TV, what are the maximum specifications your TV has, and it's going to pretty much max out its own settings based on whatever TV you have. So the better your TV, the higher the resolution and the specs that it's going to set itself. Now, let's start with some basics, okay? So when you first set up your account and everything and you log into your PlayStation, it's going to come to this screen. Like I said, I've disabled my logon screen and you can do that into the options if you want, but you don't have to. I just have nobody else playing this PlayStation except for myself. I'm going to lower the volume on the TV because also, by default, the PlayStation is playing a background music, which you can disable as well. But I'm going to lower the volume so you can hear me talk. So once you've set up your login account, it's going to come to this home screen, right? You're going to become very accustomed to this home screen, okay? The PlayStation is always going to show you first. So for example, on the top left, this icon is the PlayStation Store logo. It's hard to get the logo for the TV because of the lights are on, but it'll always be there. And then every sequential app after is what you've recently used will always come up. And all of the games that you're currently playing the most are going to be right there. And it's also going to play the music of the game, which is a pretty cool feature. So whatever game you have installed and you're playing the most, it's always going to be on the top left corner, and then it's always going to play the background music of that game, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, now let's get to the first option that you're going to do. Whenever you press the PlayStation home button, it's going to bring up the menu on the bottom, right, which basically allows you to go back to the home screen, which is the main screen here. And it also has the switcher. So whenever you're playing a game or you're watching a streaming app or whatever you're doing, whenever you use the switcher, it's going to pretty much go back to the last thing you were doing right away. So for example, for me, I was playing The Last of Us. So if I click it, it's going to automatically go back into that game. It's going to come really handy if you leave a game and you go in the options or you're doing something else and you want to get right back into that game. That's what you're going to be using. This thing right here, the switcher. Okay, so let's get out of that. Then you have your notification. So if your friends on your PlayStation, they send you a message, or if a game has recently updated itself or whatever, it's going to go into that notification. And right now you can't see it because of the way the lighting in my basement is displaying it. But there is actually a little blue dot. I'm trying to see if I can get it to oh, you can see it right there. You can't see, but it's blue, and it lets me know that I have a notification, right? It also allows you to play music from Spotify or from your USB drive. So you see I have my USB, and if you have a Spotify account, you can actually log in your Spotify. You see there? I do have a Spotify, but I don't use it on the PS5, but it's a cool little thing that you have, okay? And then after that, sound. This is where you can pretty much adjust, if you have a microphone, if you have a headset and so forth, you can adjust the volume, you can increase the music of the game, the video, and so forth. It's pretty easy. And then after that, you can actually adjust the microphone. So by default, I have my PlayStation. You see this orange light? I have my PlayStation 5. Let me put it down. So right now, whenever I turn on my PlayStation 5, this light is orange, right? This light down here. This tells me that the microphone is turned off. So if I'm doing anything, I know that the microphone is turned off. If I press it, see the light? It's an actual button as well. If I press it, you're going to see the mute undo itself. See? So now if I record something, like if I go and I capture video, it's going to also record whatever the microphone is hearing. So I like to have that turned off. And you press the button again and see the light comes back on, and it tells me that it's muted. So those are just cool little things. And the next one after that is it's always telling me my battery life of the controller right there. So you see right there. And when you're charging it, you're going to see it going up and down, just like a cell phone. You're going to see that thing constantly charging. And then the very next icon is pretty much my account. So if I click on it, you can see my status is online. You can see my profile. If you have multiple users, which I don't, you can switch users directly from here. It's pretty intuitive. And then the last one after that is the power option, right? That's the one here that when you press it, oops, sorry, wrong button. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. So when I press the X button, it brings up the option where you can go into rest mode, turn off your PS5, or restart your PS5. Now, I'll be honest, I don't use the rest mode because the PS5 boots itself from cold in less than 10 seconds. So I usually just turn off my PS5. While it's in the rest mode, though, your PlayStation can get updates itself. You can also charge the controller. And but to be honest with you guys, since the controller is a USB Type-C controller, see here, USB Type-C, I never charge my controller from the PS5 itself. I like to charge the controller from the same cable that I use to charge my cell phone. Because I sit over there, I rather charge it with the same cable. So I never use the PS5. So for me, rest mode is not a problem. Now, I've heard in the past, rest mode has created problems for other PS5 users. But I'm pretty sure that I've heard that by now, Sony has resolved that issues with updates and so forth. All right, and something else that'll happen is games, even the games you're not playing, they might have a new update or whatever, and there's actually another logo that comes down here that's not here now because it's not downloading anything, but it's going to have a download icon. And whenever you go into that icon, it's actually going to show you all of the games that are currently being downloaded, or if there's any specific software being downloaded, you can actually go and check it. But obviously right now there's nothing being updated. So that's why it's not in there. That's why you don't see that logo right now. Okay? Now I'm going to show you another little trick that maybe, I'm not sure if this works on a PlayStation 4. I've never had a PlayStation 4. But for example, let's say you're in a game. So we're going to go into The Last of Us right here. So for example, let's say I was playing The Last of Us and I was into the game. And for whatever reason, I wanted to go back to the main screen the home page and I wanted to check an option off, or I wanted to go and check something else, normally you can just press the PlayStation button one time and you see the bottom menu comes up. And remember I told you that first one is the home, so it'll go back to the home screen. But keep in mind, your game is still being played in the background. See that it's still loading the game, it's still playing the game and so forth, right? And that was by me pressing the home button once. But I can also go and I can also access other stuff. I can actually use the switcher and go into another game. If I had another game, like I have Gran Turismo, so if I click that, it would go right into Gran Turismo. Or if I wanted to, I can go and access all of any options in the bottom here. And that was by me pressing the home button once. Okay, if I press it again, it'll come off. But let's say I just wanted to go to the home screen right away. All you got to do is hold the home button. And see that? It goes right back into the home screen, right? And let me try to, and then let's say I went into the options and I was doing something in the options, and when I was done working on the options, I wanted to go back to the game, right? Instead of pressing back with the triangle and then going back to the game, if you hold the home button again, it'll go right back to that game. See? The Last of Us. See? That's a quick little trick to navigate yourself with. Now, I've showed you that the home button will bring up the bottom options, right? See, like down here, whatever you want to use. But there's also the options that come on the right side of the top, on the right top corner of the screen. And normally, if you use the directional, hold on a sec, if you use the directional pad, so for example, if you push up and you navigate there, then you'll eventually get there, right? But the faster way to do that is to just press the triangle. See, if you press the triangle, it'll go straight there. See? So that's a quick little trick. The triangle will get you right there. And so let's go inside the settings. So this is the top right corner settings. So this is where you're going to see a lot of your internet settings, your user account settings, your system settings. And now one of the very first things you want to do with your PlayStation, and I'm pretty sure your PlayStation will do it by itself, is when it turns itself on for the first time, it's going to want to do a system update. So it's going to do a system update for itself and for the controller as well. And you can see here when I go into system and then system software, there's console information. Now your PlayStation, where it says name, is going to say something like PS5-400 something, whatever. I've changed my PlayStation, so now it says Red Eye Jedi PS5, but you can leave it the default name, but I just customize it, so whenever I use my mobile app, it's actually going to bring up this name, so I know it's my PlayStation 5. But you can see down here where it says software update. So right now I have the latest update, and it's usually like this long sequence of numbers, but it'll say up to date. Yours more than likely is not going to be up to date, but I'm pretty sure by default your PlayStation 5 is going to have an update that it has to do before you can even use it. But just letting you guys know that you want to make sure that your system is up to date. This is how you know you're getting the latest patch, latest firmware. The controller update is something you want to do because it's going to make the controller more efficient, right? It's going to make the controller battery last longer and so forth. Okay, here's a quick little thing. For those of you who are going to be using like Elgato and capture video, when you go into HDMI, which is in the system right under the software, you're going to want to disable. See, it says enable HDCP, and it's turned on by default, right? Let me see if I can get the light on. It's turned on, so you're going to want to turn it off. If you don't turn it off, the PlayStation is not going to allow your Elgato capture card to be able to record footage from the PlayStation 5 because of copyright infringement. So you want to have that turned off, okay? And then the other rest is pretty much self-explanatory: language, date and time. So I live in Toronto, so mine's is set to the Eastern time. And that's pretty much it for the system area, right? And then the other thing in here is, so I told you guys my PlayStation 5 has the USB 3.0 plugged into it. So whenever I record video and I want to take the video of the game, I would go into here. So I would go into settings, and then I would go into storage. You see storage? So when you go into storage, you have the console storage and you have extended storage. So the extended storage, I think that's when they're going to have the the extra hard drive that you can put inside your PlayStation that's not available. But right now, if you have an SSD external drive, you can plug it into the PlayStation, and then you would go here and you would be able to extend the PlayStation 5 storage to it. So it's detecting my USB 3.0, but I don't want to extend it to that. I like to keep that as the little drive that I use for this. So right now, this is my PlayStation specs. Now keep in mind, I have about 10 games, I think, installed on my PlayStation right now. Gran Turismo is about 100 gigs. But I also have, so it's giving me my breakdown. See, console storage. So it's 667 gigs total. And right now I have 107 gigs free. But I also do a lot of video recording of my gameplay. So right now in Media Gallery is pretty much all of the pictures that you take from your screenshots, and also when you capture videos from your game. So I have about 121 gigs of video right now, and most of that I can tell you is from The Last of Us, because I'm making 20-minute clips that I'm going to be adding to my YouTube channel soon of my gameplay. It also tells me that all of my saved data is about 576 megabytes, and other, you can't access that. It's 79 gigs. That is the amount of space that the PlayStation 5 is using for resources. Okay, but if I go into Media Gallery, I'm going to show you here right now. So when I go into Media Gallery, you see here, these are all of the video clips and screenshot pictures of the game. So if I go down here, for example, on this one, this is the video that I recorded last night of The Last of Us. And from here, I can edit the video. See, it's playing what I did last night. And I recorded these videos in 4K HDR. But that's just why it's there. So I can manually delete one, or if I go over here and I click the little arrow, I can actually go and select more than one of them. And I have the option to, for example, if I click on one of them, now when I go down here to the three little dots, you see down here, if I click it, I'll have the option to copy that game footage in 4K with the HDR to my USB drive. Now keep in mind, when you put the brand new USB drive or external hard drive into the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation is going to automatically format it to exFAT, which is the format that the PlayStation 5 can read. If you have an NTFS, the PlayStation is not going to detect it. It's going to want to format it. Okay? Yeah, so whenever you save game footage and you save screenshots, it's always going to come into your media gallery. All right, I'm breaking these videos up so that way I can put them, make them smaller to put on Instagram for you guys to see. So anyways, like I said, my USB drive is plugged in. So in the media gallery, so for example, you see here, there's all favorites, trophy, or album. So for example, right now, if you leave it on all, it's going to show me the video clips and the screenshots of all of the games. But if I use the R1, because the R1 is the way you navigate, or L1 to go back, I can actually go into albums, and albums will have the individual games. So right now, I've deleted all of the other games because I've used the footage the way I need to already. But right now, it's telling me that, you see The Last of Us, I have 119.5 gigabytes of recorded video clips in that game alone. Tomb Raider, I deleted most of them because I've already made my videos, but there's still about 1.3 gigs. And Astro only has 142 megs. So for example, it makes it really easy to find the video clips that you want. So if I had multiple games, I would see the games in here. And for example, if I go into Tomb Raider, you can see all of the clips that I have here for Tomb Raider itself. So I can actually find it much easier. But you see, there's also a third category, a fifth category, USB. If I press R1, so now it's going to read the USB stick. So by default, when you plug the PlayStation in, when you plug an external driver or USB stick into your PlayStation, it's going to create a folder called PS5, right? And when you go into PS5, it's going to have it create, and it's going to create video clips. And these are the previous video clips that I saved on my from my PS5 to my USB stick. And you can see these are the older videos that I did of my Last of Us gameplay. So I just want to show you that I've been always using an external USB stick in my PlayStation 5 since day one, and it works flawlessly. And I always plug it into the back because I just don't want to scratch up the PlayStation. I keep my PlayStation 5 very mint, so I like to use the back of the PS5. Another thing, if you have a PlayStation Plus account, and I'm pretty sure this is might have been the same case with PS4, but there's no way of backing up your saved games to an external source. For some reason, Sony doesn't allow you. But if you have a PS Plus account, you can back it up to your PS Plus cloud storage. So for example, if I go into PS4, so let me do it again. So I'll click here on save data, and it's asking me, do you want to look at the save data for your PlayStation 5 or 4? So we'll do PS4. So right now, it has, see right here, console storage. One second. Sorry about that. I jumped a little too ahead of the video. So anyways, if I click on the PS4 games, I can see all of my save files from all of the games. So the Last of Us is 9 megs, Tomb Raider, whatever. But there's no option to back it up, right? And I'll show you how you can do it after. So, but if you, let's say you're playing a game and you ever want to know how far you are in the game, well, what you do is you see this little check mark over here. So, for example, The Last of Us, right? If I move the cursor over here and I press the X button to click on it, it's going to open up. So right now I have 2 separate games that I'm playing, right? But you see, it doesn't tell me anything. But if I press the options button, see, now it's telling me that I've completed 54%. So I'm halfway into the second game I'm playing. So that is a little trick if you ever want to know. And it even tells you how long I've played it so far and what collectibles I have. Because The Last of Us does not tell you how much of the game you've completed. But the way you check that is when you go into your save. Let me do it again. So when you go into your save data, you'll click the X. And then you're going to go into PS4 because The Last of Us is a PS4 game. And do not click the game. If you just click the game, it's not going to show you. You need to move it over to this little check mark here, right? And then now you go to the save file, and what you're doing is you're pressing this button, and now it's going to give you the details of the game. It's telling me that this save file is 3.15 megabytes. I played it the last time I played it. See, I saved the game last night. But the most important thing is it's telling me where I am, the sewer level of the game. But I've completed 54% of the game, and I've played 7 hours, 20 minutes so far. So that's pretty handy. Now, like I said before, there's no way to save your save files to an external source. But if you have a PlayStation PS Plus account, Sony allows you to save it to your PS Plus cloud. So how you do that is you go into the saved data. So I was in storage. Now I'm just scrolling down to saved data. See? And now it's asking me, do I want to back up my PlayStation 5 game or PlayStation 4? Now, by default, once you've purchased a PS Plus membership, the PlayStation 5 should do this by itself, right? But if I go into save data here, and you see here it has cloud storage, right? And I guess now this option wasn't there before, but I'm pretty sure now it means I can save it to the USB drive. But if I go into cloud storage, and there you can see now I have the option to download. So for example, let's say I deleted my save file by accident. I have the option to re-download it from the PS Plus cloud. Okay, so when I click it, it's going to show you all of the games. So see, here they are again. So these are all of the games that are the save file for all of the games that I've played so far. And these are on my PS Plus account. So if I ever delete my PlayStation 5 for whatever reason by accident, I can always restore the save file from here. Alright, so I'm going to wrap up this video by showing you guys some last few settings and how the PS Store and the PS Plus looks like. So one great feature about the PlayStation 5 is that you can also do a speed test. And you do the speed test by going into the options on the top right corner. And when you go into network, you can actually do a connection. When you look at your connection status, one of them is a speed test. I'm not going to do it right now, but that speed test is obviously going to be determined by your internet connection. Personally, I have my PlayStation connected with Ethernet cable. I use a Cat 8 cable. It's overkill. It's overkill, but Why not? So it's connected directly to my Bell fiber optics. And the last time I did the speed test, I was getting about 930 megabytes down and about 500 megabytes up. Now, keep in mind, Ontario, Canada, we're on a lockdown. So the service providers are going to be using a lot more resources. So depending where you are, what connection speed you have, and how if you have people on the lockdown, it might be a little bit slower. But the last time I checked it, it was 936, I think, download and about 500 upload. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you why that is important later on. So let's do a couple of options. So screen and video. When you go into screen and video options, let me see if I can get out of the light here. When you go into the screen and video options for video output, it'll show you your video output information. So this is where I told you guys that the PlayStation 5 is going to detect what settings your TV is capable of, and it's going to max out the settings. So I'm using a 4K HDR TV, 60 hertz. TV, so 60 frames maximum capable. So you can see here the PlayStation is maxing out my TV 4K 60 hertz, and it knows the color format to use. So if you're using an OLED TV, you might be able to have the better option selection here. What's his name? Vincent Teo, he did a video on that, talking about this specific option where you can actually manually go in there and you can actually change it. But you can see it's telling me that HDR is supported on my TV. It's telling me the frequencies of the HDR that my TV can use. So I can go 24, 30, and 60 hertz with the PlayStation 5, which are refresh rates. And without HDR, it's the same thing. Okay, let me see. 1 second, it's hard to navigate with one hand. Okay, now when I go into resolution, everything is set to automatic, so I don't change this. I let the PlayStation decide what it's doing as far as here, because it's going to do a better job than I can, right? But you have a bunch of options. HDR is always on, and you can even go in and you can adjust the HDR, which is what I said your PlayStation 5 is going to want to do from the beginning, but when you first turn it on. But I suggest you pretty much leave it the way it is. The PlayStation is going to do a very good job at adjusting itself. You can even adjust the color output. You can have it on or off. I leave it on automatic. RGB range, like I said, the PlayStation will know what to use based on what your TV is using. You can have the PlayStation dim your screen after 15 minutes to save your TV's screen, and so forth. That's pretty much basics. If you're using any accessories, you would go into here and you can have a controller. You can adjust because the controller has a speaker inside the controller. You'll notice a lot of games, sound comes out of the controller. For example, when I'm playing The Last of Us, every time I pick up a radio, and I press to listen to the radio, the sound of the walkie-talkie, whatever the person's saying, comes through the controller. So that's really, really cool. But you can adjust the volume of the controller. When I was playing Tomb Raider, whenever I would shoot my bow or my gun, the gun bullets would also come out of the controller. You can adjust the sensitivity and so forth. These are pretty much standard features. You can have a keyboard, you can have a mouse, and if you buy the PlayStation camera, which I don't have, you can adjust the settings in here. Pretty easy. Okay, so this is probably something you're going to use if you're doing a lot of live streams with the PlayStation 5, or like me, you record video with the PlayStation 5. So when you go into here, so for example, when you're playing a game, any game, so I've changed mine, but by default, if you press the share button one time when you're in the game, it's going to bring up the screen, and I'll show you guys after. It's going to bring up the screen where it's asking me, do you want to record a video? No, do you want to take a screenshot? Do you want to record? And it's going to have the option to go on a live stream and some other features, right? And if you hold the button, I believe it'll take a screenshot. But so you can actually change the mapping of the button. So for example, mine's right now, you can see here, I've changed it because I don't take screenshots. I do screen recordings. So the way that I have mine set up is when I press the button once, it takes a screenshot. If I press it twice, it automatically, the PlayStation 5 will start to record video. And while it's recording the video, if I press it twice again, it's going to stop recording the video. If I hold the button, then it's going to bring up the menu, the options, right? And I have my PlayStation 5 set to record 30-minute clips. You can change that if you want. You can have, you see, 1-hour clips, whatever time you want, right? And screen format. So right now, when you click screen format, I'm telling my PlayStation 5 that whenever I record video, right, I want it to record the video in HDR, okay, because it's going to look a lot better. So you can actually turn that off or you can have it on. Mine's is set to be turned on, and this is actually for the screenshots as well, okay? But the main thing is now when you go into video clips, right, in here, okay, so when I first got the PlayStation 5, it was on 1080p. On 1080p, you can record 1-hour clips. But I think with updates, now I notice I like to record my video clips in 4K. And before, you can only record 4K up to 5 or 10 minutes, I think. Now it can do up to an hour. Before, it couldn't do that. But the only difference is that if you record in 1080p, which is okay, you're going to notice that file type, you can actually change it. So you can actually change your file type to MP4. And MP4 is actually most widely used by softwares, and you're able to share that a lot more efficiently, right? But if you select 4K like I do, you'll see that that is no longer available. The PlayStation 5 is going to save your video clips as WebM. Now, WebM is not as supported as on many editing softwares like Adobe Premiere Pro, which is what I use, but there is a workaround. You can get an actual patch for Premiere Pro, which is free. So once you install the patch, Premiere Pro is now going to be able to accept WebM files. And by default, I have my PlayStation 5 that whenever I start recording a clip, it's going to use the microphone's audio. So it's going to be able to record audio from the microphone. Now you can turn that off or on depending on what you want to do. And you can have include party audio. And what that means is if you're on a multiplayer mode, you can have the PlayStation 5 also recording the voice of your friends as well while you're doing a video capturing of a game. So that's pretty much the basics inside here. And I'm going to show you how that works quickly. All right, so while you're in any game, and like I said, my button, I've changed it because I pretty much make mostly video clips. I don't really take screenshots, so I make it easier. So for example, if I hold the button in, you see it brings up that option here. So it's showing me the last video clip that I recorded that's in my PlayStation gallery, and I have the option to take a screenshot, or if I go here, it'll start recording video. If I go over here and I click it, my PlayStation right now is logged into my Cameron D YouTube channel. And the last video I recorded was I did a live stream with my buddy Brandon the other day of GT Sport. So it'll automatically go live right there, right? And if I click on the 3 dots, I can actually change the broadcast where I don't have the PlayStation camera yet, but if I did, I can enable or disable the camera. I can disable the chat from here if I want to, right? So I have the chat enabled. So whenever and I have the activity to be enabled. So what does that mean is whenever somebody types something, it's going to come up here what they're typing and the person's name. I can even tell the PlayStation where to put the writing of the people who are chatting. So for example, for me, I have the writing coming on the bottom right of the screen. But if you wanted to, you can change it to any area of the screen you want it from here, right? And when you're live streaming, so this is where I was talking about when I did the speed test. So the speed test for the internet. So for the video, the maximum you can do when you're live streaming is 1080p at 60 FPS. Now, I've read other YouTubers, they say this is going to be dependent on your upload speed. So if you do the speed test and you're getting at least 6 to 7 megabytes MBs a second, then you're able to do 1080p at 60 FPS. Now I'm getting 500, so it's not a problem. If you're only getting about 5 megabytes upload, then you want to take 1080p at 60. Anything under 5, then you're going to want to record it in 720p. Now keep in mind, live streaming with the PlayStation itself does not require a capture card, but it's not going to look as good as, even at 1080p at 60 FPS, it's not going to look as good as like an Elgato, but it works flawlessly and it looks pretty good for a amateur person like myself who doesn't have a capture card yet. It'll actually get you into that realm where you probably might want to upgrade to a capture card later on. But right now it works. I did it the other day with Brandon and everything worked. So that is just if you wanted to, if you were inquiring about that. If I move it over to here to the final cursor, and now I can actually go in here and I can actually manually adjust those features again that I set on the PlayStation. So I can actually change the resolution to 1080p. So if, for example, I don't have to leave the game and go into the options, I can actually change it from here just by holding the button here, right? And I can have include my mic. So my mic is, so I have it right now that when I'm playing The Last of Us, whenever I start recording video, it's gonna listen to the microphone and record the microphone. Okay, so that is by holding the button. You see here, if I hold it, okay, that's how I set mines. Okay, but because I'm mostly recording video, if I press the button one time, it's gonna take a screenshot. So you see there, it took a screenshot of whatever I am, right? This is not the photo mode. This is just to take a screenshot. Now, if I wanted to record the video of whatever game I'm playing at the time, all I have to do is press the button twice. So I don't need to hold it and go and select start recording. I can just press it twice. And you're going to see the timer come up there and it's going to start recording. See, it's recording right now the clip. And it's recording it in 4K with the HDR on, right? And if I want to stop the clip, I just press it twice again. And you see here, it's telling me that the video clip has been recorded. That easy. And if I wanted to go look at that video clip while I'm here, I don't have to leave the game. I would just press and hold the button to bring up that menu. And there's the clip that I recorded. You see down there? It's telling me it's 10 seconds long and I just hit the X button. And now it's going to give me the option. So I can go in here, I can share it to my social media platform. I can edit it. I can delete it. I can do pretty much whatever I want with it. And PlayStation, let me exit. Now let me exit and go back here. PlayStation by default, even though I don't use it, I personally use Premiere Pro. But PlayStation has its own built-in software and it works pretty well. I've tried it in the past. Let me see if I have it still. Right here, Share Factory, right? So this is my my games library. These are all of the games that I have purchased or that I own because of PS Now and so forth. But anyways, Share Factory, if you go into there, it'll allow you, okay, I have to download it, but what it's going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to edit your video, clip certain parts of the video. You can put filters, you can put your video overlaid over the video. So this is useful for people who don't have a editing software, but I prefer to use Premiere Pro because Premiere Pro is a lot more in depth, and I'm a pro with Premiere Pro. But you could use it here, and you can create amazing. Let me see if I can play a tutorial. So you can create like amazing effects to make your videos look a lot more customizable. So you can have cool edits. You can change the way that your videos look. You can slow down the roll. So this is a time blender feature where you can go and you can add overlays. You can go and add special effects to it. You can put your picture. You can have a you can blend in a lot of stuff with it. You can make it look a lot more customizable, and it's free. It comes with every single PlayStation. You just have to enable it. Like I said, I disabled it. I don't use it, right? Now let me finish off the video by going into the PlayStation Plus and showing you guys. So if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, right, just because, you know what, let me start another video for this part. All right, so if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, this is the best part. Just because you own a PlayStation 5, it gives you this PlayStation Plus collection area. So when you go into here, you have access to these 25 amazing games. Most of them are greatest hits. So there's 25 of them. And for a person like me, I haven't played any of these games. So I'm able to take advantage of them. And some of these games got a PS5 update, like the God of War. You see here, the God of War, it has the 4K 60 FPS update. Right now I'm playing The Last of Us, and this is the remastered version, not the cheesy version, the remastered. Uncharted 4 is there. You know, it's got the Batman Arkham Knights. It's got the Call of Duty game. It's got the Mortal Kombat, what is that, Mortal Kombat 10. It's got the Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, so just because you have a PlayStation 5, you get this for free. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. Oops. And then when you're inside the PlayStation Store, you can actually go and look at exclusive deals. So just because you have a PlayStation Plus account, you know, it's going to have this little, see the color yellow? So once it's yellow, it's telling you that you're getting a discount on that game, which is 40% just because you have a PlayStation Plus account. If you don't have a PlayStation Plus account, then you won't have access to these deals and you can't play the games online. But if you don't care about playing them online, then you don't need the PlayStation Plus account. Now, I've said this before to my friends. I got my PlayStation Plus account for 3 years. I have 3 years worth because I got it when it was 50% off. Now, keep in mind, something I didn't know is that you don't have to go and buy. See here? You don't, these are the prices right now, so it's not on sale. And keep in mind, these are Canadian. And this is for the year, not the month. $70 for the year, okay? Now, keep in mind, you don't have to just buy 1 year and call it a day. Let's say you see it's 50% off. So right now, my membership is it's good for 3 years. But right now, let's say there's a deal next month and it's like $40. You see on the top right over here, the 3 little dots? If I go there, I can, oops, second, there we go. I can actually extend, see, I can extend my current membership, see here? So I can add more years of what I on top of what I have now. So I don't have to just have 1 year and let's say next month I see a sale. I'm like, oh no, I can't get that sale because I have to wait till my year is up. No. Sony allows you to extend your membership. And you can do that with the PlayStation Now as well. Okay? So, and it tells you exclusive offers as well, which I showed you guys before. So remember, whenever you see the yellow color, it means it's a deal because you have the PlayStation Plus account. Now the last thing is we're going to go into the PlayStation Store. So this is the first icon that's going to be on the top left corner of your, let me see if I can get the picture, of your PlayStation. Okay, so it's going to be the top left corner. So when you go in there, you have these navigation toolbars on the top. You can either use the directional pad or you can use the R1 and L1 to go back and forth. So the first one is always showing you the latest and greatest games. Now you can select, right now, it also has a pre-order section right here. So it's telling me all of the games that are coming out actually pretty soon. Kenya is a game that I've been waiting for. You can actually go and search games by specifically for PS5. Let me see if I can get that to show you. PS5, you can search for PS4, and these are all of the games that are free. Or if I want to just go and get PlayStation Plus games, I can go inside here. So if I go into PlayStation 5, so these are all the PlayStation 5 games. And you can see here, the regular writing is in white. Okay, so I know I'm not getting a deal. Okay, that's the full price. I don't pay full price. But you see this game right here, there's a 10% discount and it's yellow. And the reason it's yellow is because it's telling me, and you see it has the PlayStation Plus logo. So because I have a PlayStation Plus account, I'm getting a 10% deal on that game. And there's many games like that. Okay, but these are all of the games right now that are the PlayStation Plus that you can go and buy or you can go and pre-order. And all you would do is you would click on the game by pressing X. You see, this game is, keep in mind, these are Canadian dollars. So don't think, oh my God, the games are $80. If you're in America, the price is going to be lower. These are Canadian dollars. And because it's a digital game, there's no tax. Okay? So I'm going to click on the X button. So when I click on the X button, it's telling me that I can download the game, right? If I want to buy the game, it's telling me the price of the game. It's the full game. But also, if I scroll down, let me see here. Actually, if I click on this little arrow here, I mean these three little dots, right? The drop down, I'm going to go view product, okay? Because you want to know a little bit more information about the game if you've never heard of it. So it's telling me that the game is $80 for the full game. It's being released, what's that, May 7th, 2021. If I add it to my wish list, what it means is that my PlayStation 5, every time there's a new news or latest article about this game, I'll be able to read it, okay? Now, because I've selected view product, I can actually go down here and I can actually play a game trailer of the game. See here? I can, so if I've never, I think this is pretty cool. I think they have this linked with YouTube. So I can actually go and watch the trailer for the game without having to leave my PlayStation 5, right? It's actually telling me that this game, you see here, it comes in 3 versions, okay? It comes in the standard version, it comes in the deluxe version, and it comes with the complete version that gives you the Resident Evil Biohazard, and it comes with this game, and it actually tells you each bundle what you get. I like that. For a person like me who's never played PlayStation 4, I don't know anything. But with this, I know everything now. So I know the standard version. I'm getting the game. You see here? I'm getting the game. I'm getting this weapon. I'm getting the survival pack. I know with this one what I'm getting. So I'm getting everything with this one. Plus I'm getting more stuff. And then with this one here, I'm getting 2 games. See that? Which is cool. I like that. You know? It's telling me the pre-order information. It's telling me that this is for PlayStation 5 only. Right now, it's telling me it's a 1-player game, and it gives me a little bit about the game information, okay? And that is by going into the 3 little dots and selecting View Product, okay? Now, here's another thing I'm going to tell you guys, that PlayStation changed, but it wasn't like here before. I'm going to go into PlayStation 4, okay? So PlayStation 4. So we're going to use the game, we're going to use, where is it? Valhalla, okay, right here, Valhalla. So when the PlayStation 5 first came out, whenever I would go into a game like Valhalla or Miles Morales, these were cross-gen games, meaning the games was available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, okay? So let me click on the game. So you would think because I have a PlayStation 5, by default, it would give me the option to buy the PlayStation 5 version. But no, it didn't. PlayStation had it that if I would have clicked OK and clicked that, the PlayStation 5 would have purchased the PlayStation 4 version, which was a huge no-no, right? And I knew because when I bought the Miles Morales, the first game, I bought the version that came with the Spider-Man remastered. Okay, and when I was looking at it, I didn't see Spider-Man remastered, so I thought something was wrong. But later on, I learned from other YouTubers that this was a glitch that Sony had, but they've corrected it. So now your PlayStation will know that you want the PlayStation 5 version. But this game has many versions. So when I click on the dot here, you see this game is already out, so it's not going to tell me pre-order, okay? So right now it's $79 Canadian. This game, I've seen it for $50 Canadian when it goes on sale. Just letting you guys know. But when I click on the 3 little dots to bring the drop down, man, you see how many versions they have? There's 6 versions. No, sorry, there's 5 versions of this game I can buy. I can buy where is it? I can buy the basic version. So I can buy, so there's a version of there's a gold version that plays on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. There's an ultimate version. There's a Valhalla plus the Watch Dogs bundle. There's Assassin's Creed Valhalla plus Immortal Phoenix Rising bundle. And there's another version. And if I click on any one of them, so for example, let's go on the Watch Dogs version, right? It's $145, basically $146 Canadian, okay? But keep in mind, you're getting 2 fairly new games, right? Not my cup of tea, but I'm just showing you guys an example. And now when I go down here, I can see the differences in each bundle of this specific game. So Valhalla has 3 versions, right? It's got the standard version, it's got the gold version, and it has the ultimate version. And the prices are down there, and it tells you what you're getting, right? You can go and purchase the add-ons right from the game here. You don't have to go anywhere. They made this very intuitive, very easy for the average person like myself. And it tells me, see here, if I go into, let me show you guys. So the game is here. You see here? The game is there. So this is the bundle for Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. So don't think this is the price for one game. This is the price for 2 new games in a bundle that Sony is selling. Now, it could be on a discount, so you just have to know the prices. So if I go down here, all the way down, I keep scrolling down, it's telling me that this game, right, requires a PS Plus subscription to play it online. It's telling me that up to 8 players can play with PS Plus. And it's telling me that this game is 141 gig. It's telling me that this bundle is 151.4 gigs. So it's telling you everything that you need to know. Okay, it's telling you everything that you need to know when you're downloading it, so you know what you're getting. Okay, and I think that's pretty cool. But keep in mind, you don't have to buy the bundle. You can just go and click on the basic Assassin's Creed right here, which is a single game by itself. And keep in mind, this game, I've seen it for $20 off, so you don't have to spend $59.99. And it's telling you, so you see the Assassin's Creed Valhalla by itself, the PlayStation 5 version is 49.79 gigs. Now, keep this in mind. I've read and I've seen YouTubers say that the PlayStation 4 version of games are bigger than PlayStation 5. And I didn't understand that, because when I looked at the Spider-Man game, okay, the Spider-Man Remastered, it was about 30 gigs smaller than the PlayStation 4 version of the Spider-Man. And that's because Sony realized that they could make the games run a lot more efficient with a lot less resources. Okay, so that's why you're going to notice that PlayStation 5 games are actually smaller in size. So this is Assassin's Creed PS5 version, standard edition, 41.79 gigs, right? So it's giving me the detail when the game came out. It's an RPG, and it tells me the details right there. All right, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I think I made it really long. I'm hoping I can upload all this stuff to Instagram without any hiccups. If you guys want to know more, let me know, right? There's a lot to learn, and I'm sure when you guys get your PS5, you're going to love it.